Hello, my name is Shipwrecked Pirate, and welcome back to making the entirety of Stardew Valley in The Sims 2. Today, we're making Sam, Jodi, Vincent, Kent, and their house, number 1 Willow Lane. As you can see, we're starting with Jodi. Here I'm just going through and finding the hair I want to use for her, so that way when I fix her face and get that all set up, I know where to go. Jodi was so much easier to do than Elliot, which was my last one of these episodes, because her profile is forward-facing, her little portrait is forward-facing, so I get a lot more details of both sides of her face than the 3/4 view. Gorgeous. Love it. If all of them that are forward-facing go this easy, I'm going to have a great time. I'm not looking forward to all the 3/4 view ones, though. So I just kind of played around with her features, was trying to get it she's got this very like round cheeks, full cheeks, pointed chin, this sort of like flipped up at the tip nose, at least I think so from there, and it's a smaller nose too, and she's got a natural smile to her face and big blue looking eyes. Very pretty, very pretty. She's got these 2 little blue earrings. I assume she has both of them. I can only see one of her ears, but I did give her both of them even though we can't see it. And she's got some very natural makeup on, so that I was trying to match that the best that I could. Her outfit here is this sort of pinky, sweatery looking top and some dark blue pants. She's got pink shoes, but I can't really pick the shoes because I don't have the mod that does separates. So I wasn't quite sure whether I was going to go with some blue jeans or some like dress pants style pants like these guys here. I did end up going with these dress pants in the end. And the sweater was much more straightforward finding the correct item. I did run into the issue of this being a game made in like the early 2000s where midriff is everywhere. And I needed it to look like her shirt was tucked into her pants, or at least met her pants. So that was fun. For her formal, I went with this really pretty red dress. It's not quite the pink that I was hoping for, but it does seem very Jodi. And for the rest of her outfits, I tried to match it with her main outfit color scheme and sort of what it seems like she likes to wear, the styles she favors. Out of all of them, I do think Jodi took me the longest to do. Now, for her personality here, I went back and forth on if I was going to try and use her potential zodiac sign. That didn't work. It didn't really fit the character well, so I did have to go around and play with it. I gave her the family aspiration, and I based her turn-ons and turn-offs off of Kent, so I went with Kent as a blonde, and, you know, obviously he's got some muscle there, so I had to kind of go around with that. And that's Jodi. I'm very happy with how she turned out. Our next here was Kent. And now, Kent gave me some trouble through this whole process. It was a real battle to get his features looking like his portrait, but in a proportional way. Like if you look at his little portrait, his face doesn't seem out of proportion. It's all very proportional to itself, so it was very hard for me to master that. His outfit here is this gray shirt with a green jacket on top and blue jeans. The jeans were, straightforward blue jeans. You just pick some jeans and you go. Now the jacket was a little harder. I had thought about trying to find a more military jacket, but I didn't have one that fit, which is strange. I thought I would find one in the stuff that was from Strangetown, but I didn't. And the same thing went for his suit. I wanted to give him a dress uniform, but I couldn't find one, so I had to settle with just a standard suit. For the rest of his outfits, much like Jodi, I based them off of his main outfit's color scheme and sort of his perceived personality. I gave him the knowledge aspiration and based his turn-ons off of Jodi, and I had thought about doing his zodiac sign, but I decided in the end not to. Now there's me making them spouses, and now on to Sam. For Sam and Vincent, I used the Make a Child to get a good base from. And I didn't have to do a whole lot to this base. And I didn't have his hair either. So I had to go for this sort of spiked up, gelled 2000s hair, but it was fine. And for his face, I just altered it enough to where he favored Jodi more than Kent, because his portrait does favor his mother more than his father. So it was mostly his jaw, and I think bits of his nose and making him smile a little more. That was the main changes there. Now, despite the yellow shirt in his portrait, his sprite outfit is a red shirt, a blue jacket, and brown pants. The brown pants, very, very straightforward. The jacket, not so much. I mean, single shirt and a jacket on top, there aren't many options for that. So I did end up going into the outfits that The Sims 2 has, and I think the outfit I went for with him was a CC outfit in the end. Yeah, but it's this brown pants, blue denim jacket, red flannel, and then a gray undershirt. I feel like that fits the character pretty well. For his formal outfit, I wanted something pretty laid back, but still nice, so I went with that one with jeans, and as with Jodi and Kent, the rest of his outfits were based on his color scheme and the style he seems to favor. Now here I was trying to find if we knew what his bathing suit looked like, and I couldn't find the image of his sprite from the beach, so I went with a very colorful, exciting swimsuit. That one is what I did in the end. His athletic was pretty straightforward, just sweatpants, and I did this yellow jacket here as a nod to his yellow shirt in the portrait. Didn't even bother with doing his zodiac sign this time, and I gave him the popularity aspiration. And for his turn-ons, I tried to make them applicable to the farmer without being super explicit. And here's where I had to go back into Kent and fix his eye color. Now, Vincent has this adorable round face that made it so easy to translate into The Sims, just insanely easy to translate into The Sims. It worked so well. And for his outfit, he has this orangey red and yellow stripe shirt. We don't really have anything like that, so I ended up going with this, there it is, red and yellow layer and the green shorts. I felt like that worked really well, and the rest of his outfits were based off of the same things as the others. I tried to get his personality as accurate to the game as possible, but it just did not give me enough points to divvy up here, so that's about as close as I got. Here, I came to the realization that I could not make Sam a child of Jodi and Kent as an adult, so I tried making him a teenager for a moment. I didn't want to leave him as a teen. He needs to be an adult. So in the end, I just settled for not doing it at all. Now, this house runs into the same issue that I had with 2 Willow Lane, which is Haley and Emily's house. The layout of the house does not work with the actual outside of the house. Like, the floor plan does not match up. So I had to run with what I had. I did another trick that I did on Haley and Emily's house, which was make one section shorter in the front than the other sections, and I did that based on the front door and sort of that kind of spacing and where Vincent's room was and all of that, to try and make it look at least a little bit accurate to the floor plan, a little bit more realistic. Alright, I tried to make the roof as close as I could here with the slant. I couldn't get it to join up at the peak, not properly, so I kind of just settled for this sloped in roof that at least sloped up to the side of the house. The siding, I tried so hard to find a vertical blue. I could not find a vertical blue that I liked. See, that's one of the few vertical blues that we had. So I did end up going with a horizontal and just trying to match up the color as best I could. And it's this oceany teal color that I went for, which is a little too green, I think, but it's close. It's as close as I can get. And I went with this sort of sharp red roof instead of a dull, because we didn't have a dull. And I picked the red door and the matching windows, and I couldn't put a window up there because the ceiling was too low, which was incredibly annoying. But I was able to get the wheel up there with some struggle. I did manage to get the wheel up there. And now we're on to the floor plan. As you can see here, it doesn't really match up. And I'm going back in and altering some little bits here and there, trying to make it look a little bit closer. It was a back and forth with this. I think I referred to this little image I've got here in the corner more than I did with any of the other houses I've done so far. It was crazy. It's also smaller than the in-game house. I'm wondering if the parents' bedroom is upstairs, even though there's no indication that there's an upstairs at all. But in real life, I feel like this would be a 2-story house and it'd be different. And I was trying to squeeze a bathroom in here because I do want the houses to be functional. I want all of them to be functional. I went in an Elliot's and I put a bathroom and a kitchen in there. And I put a bathroom and a bathroom into Haley and Emily's. I want the houses to be functional. I want them to be able to be played in The Sims 2. I want these to actually work. So that was a big struggle I had here. There's Sam's carpet, picking it out. The tile in Jodi and Kent's room. I had a lot of fun doing Vincent and Sam's rooms. Especially, those were very fun. Jodi and Kent's was boring, as you could probably guess. Picking the wallpapers here was a trip. Trying to find some that had the correct everything. Oh, look at Vincent's. I love Vincent's room. I went with this fantasy wallpaper, which has a whole furniture set that goes with it in this game. It's really cool. And here's the purple. I think I did go with that purple. The wood paneling wasn't correct, but it was about as close as I could get comfortably. And here's the siding kind of kitchen in there, which was vertical wood. And I was trying to hold the same theming in the bathroom as well with their house. Sam's room gave me trouble. I think in the end I did end up going with this one right here that you see, which is padded. I think it's supposed to be in the game, but it was as close to the brickwork as I could get accurately. But I did stay here for a while trying to figure this out. Now on to the furniture. I tried my best to make this as game accurate as possible, which is really hard to do with the constraints that are placed upon me by The Sims 2. So I was trying to find a decent little side table here. I was looking for ones that were 2 spaces wide. In the end, I did replace it with a different side table that was only 1 space wide. And then trying to get the square dining table in there and the chairs. We don't have stools that look like that in this game, so I ended up going with these little tiny sofa chairs here, which I used in Haley and Emily's house as well, but those look very accurate. I don't think you can access the one on the wall, but they do look really accurate to the game. And trying to figure out the rug situation and pick one that looked pretty close, or at least close enough. The rugs give me pause. I struggle so much with the rugs in this game, but I did end up going and finding one in the end that worked. And then I used the red swatch of it in the living room because they have the same rug there. The couch was another thing that gave me some hard time. Trying to find the right ones. I had couches that looked right but were in the wrong color, couches that were the wrong shape but the right color. I mean, I went back and forth with this couch for so long. I did eventually find one that worked, and I picked a armchair. My lovely exploration with the cheats. I get that the cheats are supposed to help me. They don't. They never do. They never do. Every time, without fail, I have an issue of some sort with them. So in the end, I just kind of give up on them and try something else. I mean, this couch gave me so much trouble. I really just needed to find one that worked. And I think I did go with that one in the end, yeah. I couldn't get space on both sides due to the width of the house, so I put the radio on the other side of the couch instead of by the door, and I figured that would have to work. Changed out the plants there and kind of just went with that. Now the desk was another strange situation. It's a little bit out in the way, but the Sims should be able to use it properly and get around it without issue. The wall light was pretty straightforward. It does move later on when I pick the images that'll go there. I wanted this photo collage on that wall because it looks like family photos right there. And these photos aren't family photos, but I thought that it would kind of work in place of. And now on to Vincent's room. Vincent's room was super straightforward. It's a single bed and toys and clutter on the floor, and I tried to pick some decent clutter to give him, but there's no like toy clutter, so I ended up using craft clutter. Trying to figure out if I wanted to give him like proper toys. I settled on not doing that in the end. There's that same wall light, and I picked those pictures to go in there in place of like the note looking ones. Trying to fit all the instruments into Sam's room was something else, because there are 3 instruments in that room, and there is not really space for 3 instruments. He's got the keyboard, the drum set, and a guitar in there. I was trying to find a place to stick the desk where it would fit. I went here. I hope they can get past that when the chair is pushed in. They should be able to. We'll see when I eventually play test this whole thing. I tried to match up as best I could. I did end up moving the bed here at the end because I wanted the guitar to be able to sit in there. But because in The Sims 2 the guitars take up 4 slots, it couldn't. So I had to switch where the bed sat to put the guitar in that corner. But I think that is fine. And I gave him his computer. And then I went through and pulled some posters to kind of stick on the wall and give it that just out of high school wall feel. I don't know. He has posters. Give the man his posters. Now for Jodi and Kent, I did give them a double bed instead of a single bed because 2 Sims cannot sleep in a single bed, and I didn't want Kent to have to sleep on the couch. That just didn't seem fair. Then I didn't really do much else in their bedroom except for the wall light and a single picture. Their room is really, really bare. I did add some other photos in here along this wall to be like the photo wall and some on the hallway. The kitchen, Stardew Valley kitchens translate really well into The Sims 2, I've noticed. Haley and Emily's kitchen also translated really, really well into this game. So it wasn't too much of a struggle to get everything in place. I mean, we've got 1 less counter space than they do in their house in Stardew Valley. But that's okay. They get all their essentials in. They've got a space to work, an oven, and they've got the sink as well. So it's not a big deal. And that fridge goes off to the side. Picked one with pictures on it because they have pictures on their fridge. The sink went there, and then the trash can in the corner. And I think I did just leave them with the 2 chairs. There's their dining table with a cloth, their 2 chairs, and then I gave them a really simple bathroom that wasn't too complicated, nothing too crazy, because they don't have one in the game, obviously. And here's me trying to fix the terrain before I eventually gave up on it. And here they are. The Thomas family, which is the last name that I picked for them because it's generic name, all hanging out outside of their house, and here's the house. I'm very happy with how it turned out. It's not exact. It's not exactly what I was going to try and do, but in the end I do think it came together really well. I think it looks quite like the game, and I think it works. I think it works really well. And oh man, I gotta stop trying to do these fancy angles and just go for it. I wanted to show you from like the game angle, but I can't quite get that angle really well. But this is about as close as I could get to that top down, not quite top down view that you get in Stardew Valley. I'm really happy with how everything turned out. All 4 Sims, the house, all of it. I'm really happy with it. But thank you all so much for watching, and hope you join me next time for the next installment of this. I'm having a grand time doing it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.